Hi you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and it's time for another embellishment swap over on Ginger's Corner. So you can find Ginger's Corner both on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook you can sign up for a weekly mini swap or a monthly bigger swap or partner swaps, all sorts of different things. So the swap that I'm prepping for is safari related. And so I pulled out this Fun Stamper's Journey stamp set that's called Wild About You. And I really love, I've done the elephant before, I've done the lion before and colored it. It's great. What I think I'm going to do this time, I pulled out this die cut, a little rough edged. Thought that was kind of appropriate. And then I went into this 6x6 Cartabella paper pad, and I was thinking of using this piece of paper, but I couldn't get the direction to work with what I wanted and get 4 out of this, and this is my last sheet of this. So I pulled this Montserrat leaf paper, and I got, you can see I got 4 of those cut out of it. So that's going to be the base for my embellishment. And then I think I'm going to do the elephant down here, the zebra up here, and life is an adventure here. I'm going to have to probably stamp this because it's not going to show up on this dark paper. But I think that'll be cute. I'm going to stamp the zebra in black, obviously, and the elephant in gray. So I have a little bit of stamping to do. I have to do 4 sets. I won't make you sit through all of that. This is the Tonic Tim Holtz stamp platform, and it's real easy to switch for red rubber stamps, which is what this is. They're a little bit thicker, and so you just flip that around. And I'm doing this so that because I anticipate I'll have to stamp this twice. This is Distress ink. It's the only gray I have at the moment. I have ordered, or I'm about to order, a VersaFine Clair in gray, but I don't have that yet. So I've sped up this middle part where I'm stamping. I do have to stamp 3 or 4 times with this gray ink. This ink square's a little bit dry, and it's Distress ink, so it's really not intended to be a full coverage ink, but I'm trying to use it for that. So I really need to place that order and get that, get another ink pad. So I think that one's pretty good. I do ink all of these sort of one animal at a time. I'm going to do all 3 components one at a time here for you, and then when I go to make the other 3, I'll do 3 more zebras, 3 more elephants in a row, so I'm not switching things out. But I like the look of those. They're going to go great with the green. And then I just need to stamp, and I pull out look for a different piece of paper, and I really spend quite a bit of time trying to figure out which green ink I want. So you'll see me go through that process. I have a green Distress ink square, and I'm just checking the color. It's okay. And then I pull out some Distress oxides and check those colors and see if I like them with it. And I don't love them. Heads up. Spoiler alert. They're okay. In fact, I think I do try to use one of them. So you'll watch and you'll see what happens. I try and use this Distress Oxide, I think, or maybe I use one of them. I'm showing you some of the other greens I have. I don't have a ton. This is Pistachio. It's definitely not the right color. And so I try to use this one, and I just don't like the clarity of it. This is a very fine, this stamp has, in the word adventure, it's got a really thin line in the middle that's clear. And that just doesn't come out crisp using this ink. So I'm not very happy with it. So I switch it out. Time to recover, and I pull out an old Stampin' Up! Marker, and then it's regular ink. It's just in a marker form, so I just swipe it onto my stamp. And I really like how that comes out. It comes out much more crisp than using the Distress. I mean, Distress just really isn't intended for detailed stamping. It's just not what that ink is intended for. So I'll just start fussy cutting all of these elements out, and I'm going to create one of these embellishments for you here on video, and then after I finish the video I'll go off and make the other 3, and these aren't really due to be turned in for several weeks. So if you are interested, at least a couple weeks, if you are interested in joining in the swap, you can sign up on Ginger's Corner. As I mentioned, sign-ups happen on Sundays for the weekly mini swaps, and you make 4 embellishments. They need to be handmade in 2 layers, which could be stamping and coloring, or die cutting multiple layers of paper, or die cutting and inking. So any combination of layers, but they want it to be handmade and not just a sticker or a piece of ephemera that you get out of that you purchase. And the whole idea is to create something that the other person can use. I try to keep mine pretty, I'll say neutral, but easy to use, easy to put on a different page, easy to combine with other things, because most people want more than one embellishment on a page. And so it's pretty fun, and it's a way to share your, in this case, my stamps that I have. Not everybody has this stamp set, so it's fun to be able to share that around, and it's fun to receive things that you don't have, or maybe something with a technique that you don't do, with a coloring technique that you're not good at. Like, I'm terrible at coloring. So if I get something that's really nicely shaded or really nicely colored, or with pencils or something, then that's just so fun to receive. And it really expands your embellishment stash. And everybody has a zoo or safari page that they do at some point. Or it could be the urban jungle, right? Life is an adventure. So I'm just fussy cutting out the zebra here. I do a very thin, when I fussy cut stamps like this, I tend to do a very thin halo. I find it easier to keep a thin halo consistent rather than a thicker halo. And it enables me to get in there with some detail. So I just ink the edges of the base that I'm using. Now, I could have just sent these animals in as is, but I kind of wanted to do a base for them and a sentiment. And I also could have sent in that and then the two animals as a little collection, as the embellishment, but I decided to go ahead and sometimes I do that. I send a couple of loose items, but I decide to put these together this time. I'm just putting glue on the part that will attach to the paper, and here it is. All right, there you have it. Now I just have to make 3 more.